Other news this evening, the healthcare facility that came under fire after an incapacitated woman gave birth in December is now facing losing its license after more abuse reports coming to light this month.
Yeah, Team 12's Will Pitts reviewed Hacienda inspections going back to 2013 and found that inspectors noted at least one thing had gone wrong every time they checked, just until the care facility lost their license in April.
Back in April, Hacienda posted its only perfect inspection 1 day before it was given a state license. A few weeks later, though, they were back in hot water. Now, the facility is 30 days away from losing that license. Here's how things went down to get Hacienda a license. In January, a federal inspection found 108 pages worth of deficiencies at Hacienda. Some of them were corrected, but some are still listed on the DHS website as ongoing. But on April 23rd, the Department of Health Services told Hacienda they inspected the facility and found no deficiencies. It's even written there twice. The next day, Governor Doug Ducey signed a bill giving DHS the ability to license Hacienda, and Hacienda got its license. But just 15 days later, a DHS survey again found major deficiencies at Hacienda. The inspection found the organization failed to implement their abuse policy and detailed 2 incidents of possible abuse that inspectors said went nowhere. The first, a resident went off-site with his family. When he came back, staff reported he had a bruise on his cheek, another on his arm, and blood coming from his left nostril. The second, a patient apparently ended up on the ground fighting employees when they tried to fasten a seatbelt on his wheelchair. Neither one, the report said, was dealt with according to plan. Last week, DHS moved to revoke Hacienda's license after finding maggots on a patient's throat. A DHS spokesman telling 12 News the April inspection was not as thorough as the inspection in May, and Hacienda received its license because DHS could not consider the January report. Governor Ducey, who signed the bill to license the facility, said he's concerned for the patients.
What I want the patients and their families to know is we want to do this in the safest possible way.
A Hacienda spokesman said all of those issues have been corrected. Hacienda has 30 days to request a hearing or lose its license. William Pitts, 12 News.